Hey, DragonCon, Crispy here, and we're with our friend Cherami.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. We can finally start the convention. You're here.
Oh my gosh, thanks.
It's your first
for letting
time.
me come hang out.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so stoked.
I'm really excited to have you here because this is your first time.
It is my first time.
And anytime we have someone who's first time, I want to just dive right in. I know you've got a beautiful catalog of work,
what do I need to know?
That's
what are the must-sees
Here's the tips.
here?
Well,
Okay.
that depends on what you're into. So let's talk about let's just go straight in.
All right.
What's your geekdom? What's your fandom?
Well, I think I'm a really enthusiastic geek. I love getting to see what other people are geeking out about, and then I get excited.
From their excitement.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, tell me about that. My brother is a huge nerd for all things Jurassic Park.
I'm right there with them.
And
yeah, 100%.
I dig that. I love Jurassic Park. I will do a 5K on the Universal lot purely because we get to go through Jurassic Park sets, and that's the only reason I will run.
I love that.
So that's very exciting. My husband is a huge Pokemon fan, so I have become a Pokemon fan by proxy. I love Pokemon before.
Are you doing the Pokemon Go?
Oh, he's a Pokemon Go YouTuber.
Oh, wow.
So, like, Pokemon Go is all the time at our house. We have, like, at least 100 Pokemon plush everywhere. I mean, it's nuts. But I guess what I'm, like, a major nerd about, all things movies, all things radio.
Yeah.
I actually love getting to travel and go to museums and find out about little-known figures in history that were super famous or well-known in that little area.
And
then
the local thing.
Yeah, and then I'm like, this is a fantastic story. Why hasn't anybody talked about this person? And so that's, I think, what I'm like a nerd for all of the amazing underdogs, and I want to tell their stories. So that's pretty cool.
What's been some of your favorite stories of museums that you've gone to for that? So for me, like, I love museums, but I don't get to go to them that much. So like the Field in Chicago, I go to often.
Yeah, totally.
I love the Field.
So
things like that. So I want to find you to give me the insights for this
I
now.
went to the Art Institute of Chicago.
Yeah.
And at the very bottom, there's all of the tiny little miniatures.
Yes.
And when I was on my way out, the woman who was sitting at the desk said, well, there's actually a book series. Somebody came in and was inspired to write a bunch of novels about this and finding out about this woman. During, I think there was some sort of a recession around the time, the woman who built all of those miniatures actually employed all of the artists that had been laid off so that they could be able to feed their families. And it's like, how cool is that? And then I went to the Neon Museum in Vegas, which is all of these old neon signs. We went to a neon graveyard, which was fantastic. And I found out about all of these fantastic sign designers that were standing up for women's rights and fighting racism by saying, I'm going to design this sign for free because you want to be the first integrated casino.
Right,
and we're gonna,
it's important to have that.
Yeah,
I want to be a supporter of that.
And I wouldn't have known anything about these people had I not gone to this museum and found out about the history.
I didn't even know that was a thing, and I've been to Vegas. I want to go.
I want to go to the Mafia Museum next.
Why the Mafia Museum? Just because of the culture and the history that we're aware of, or is there a specific reason for you?
So because of what I found out about Vegas, I was not a huge fan of Vegas because I'm not a big partier.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love learning about things.
Obviously.
But I got a book about Vegas, and I found out about how Vegas was started, and it was a guy that was like, felt he was very wronged by Hollywood. He wanted to be an actor, and they said, dude, you can't bring a gun into an audition and actually shoot through the ceiling, and he didn't understand that.
Oh my goodness.
So he went to Vegas and wanted to create casinos that were like sets so that he could feel like he was a movie star in his own town.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
So I'm like, well, I want to know more about this dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
That's, as a theater kid myself, there's definitely something that appeals to that. It's like, I want to be able to do all this fun stuff.
Which is kind of what DragonCon is. We've just created a fantasy world with all these fun sets, and everybody gets to be their favorite characters.
Do. I mean, you just looking back here, and we're already seeing a lot of business. I see some girls. I'm not a big Invader Zim person, but again, I love supporting my friends who love these things. So what kind of things that on the floor that you probably just got here, but is there anything that has stood out to you so far that makes you go?
I've been going to cons for like over 10 years.
Wow.
I love seeing the cosplayers.
Right.
And I love seeing the craftsmanship, and half the time they don't know how incredibly talented they are. They're like, I just do this for fun. It's like, you should be working for a huge studio doing these on a huge motion picture budget where you are being compensated. Yeah. And they're doing it just for fun.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that here in Atlanta. I'm sure you're aware how much
I
film industry we have here now.
Absolutely.
A lot that has happened for a lot of people. They got their start here fabricating, and now many of them work on the Marvel movies and things like that.
Cool. And I'm sure it's such a dream.
100%. I'm sure that it's work at the end of the day.
Of course.
But it's work that they love. I've got a lot of friends who are in that industry,
so cool.
and they've told me some stories from all the stuff, things that I can't say on camera, the stuff that they worked on.
Sure.
And you're right, it is them living the dream. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's passionate, and they will still do big builds here, but to be able to say, this is
fun.
where I've started, and now this is where I'm going. It's breathtaking.
And the art in general is fantastic. I love
we have an actual art show.
When's the art show?
It's in the bottom of the. It's all the time, as long as it's open.
Ooh, the whole week.
Yeah, it's open. I think it's open until 5 o'clock.
Okay, so
I don't know my own schedule here for things.
It's
I know this.
You have 9,000 things to remember.
100%. That's why my friend Whitney knows everything for me. But in the bottom of Centennial, we have an art show. In addition to the artist alley and the 3 floors of shopping at the America's Mart. So there's a lot that goes on here.
I gotta go snag some of the people after I do like one of the panels today. Be like, okay, family, we're all going to the art show now. Let's go.
That'll be great. Because where are your panels located? Do you remember where you're at?
I think I'm in the Hilton for all of them, which is pretty great. We've got a Sailor Moon panel today. We've got a Boruto panel tomorrow. And then I'm just excited. There's a lot of these actors I've worked with their voices, but I haven't met them. And now we're going to be on a panel together.
That's going to be really cool. You get to actually connect that.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. And shows that I've watched and grew up on, and now I'm getting to hang out with these actors on these panels, so it'll be really fun.
What are some of those shows that you grew up on that you're excited to be here for?
Well, I mean, the Goofy movie was just such a classic.
I think we're talking to Mars. I think at some point this afternoon.
Yeah, so that'll be very exciting. And I mean, I love just like a bunch of friends and then a bunch of colleagues, and it's really exciting to get to be on a panel and hear their stories, how they got into the industry, what they've gravitated towards, and what keeps them interested. Because we all, like you said, it's work, but we love what we do. We become a workaholic because we don't want to do anything else.
You become addicted to that fun, right? And it is what it is.
And now we get to all nerd out with each other about how much we love our jobs. Feed the workaholism a little bit.
It becomes like this Ouroboros of just fun and addictive fun personalities.
For sure.
I want to circle back around because the Sailor Moon thing obviously worked on. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but our friend Whitney, her crew, they did Sailor Scouts, but as Scotsmen. So they were the Sailor Scots.
No!
So after the camera, she's already prepping pictures. I can see it in her phone right now.
We're
talking full kilts. Her roommate Amy made all this by hand. The TAMs, the logos are on the sporrans and everything.
I am so
I don't know if they're going to come back out. When I heard that you agreed, it's like, we need to tell you this. So that's something that happens here. People take these fun, basic ideas and just run with it.
I've seen the punk rock Sailor Guardians, which I love, and see, I get so excited about everybody else's cosplay, but I don't dress up for Halloween. I love Halloween, but I feel like there's too much pressure, and my costume's always rough. Well, this year I'm hopeful that I can do it. I want to be. I don't want to spoil it, even though I think the whole world knows. But I want to be Thor post Thanos.
Okay.
Because I think it'll be
the comfy Thor.
The
Thor Lebowski. They've already seen a ton of them here.
So I think that's going to be my Halloween costume because I can do that last minute.
Right. For me, I've got as a Disney person, I went to Food and Wine a couple years ago, and they have a figment, like a chef figment. And so I bought all the gear. So I've made a Dreamfinder outfit that I've got with me. And where Figment sits on the chef's top hat that I've made. I did that. I'm the Halloween nerd. I had all the dragons I had like 200 kids show up to my house.
Fantastic.
It was amazing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't do costuming.
But
don't let that slow you down.
I have already started decorating for Halloween. I'm all about Halloween.
After this weekend, it's starting to come out.
I have 2 black cats at home, and if I could get more black cats, I would.
There might be some laws about that. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as they're safe and protected in your house,
you're not hoarding them. It's all right.
No.
I hope not. No, not at all.
We are hoarding Pokemon.
That's
plush,
fair.
Though,
yeah, right.
So that's a lot.
That is a thing.
But I've already started decorating for Halloween, but I don't have my costume together yet.
You got
I'm
time.
just gonna throw it together.
That's some of the best stuff.
Yeah.
The casual, simple, have a good time and relax. It's supposed to be relaxing.
Every time I do that, people are like, "So what are you?" And then I have a long, drawn-out explanation. They're like, "That's too creative and out of the box."
It's too much.
Simplify.
Tone it down a bit. It's Halloween.
But I'm going to be a Sailor Scott.
That's what we're going to talk about. We'll hook you up with them after the fact then. So.
That's awesome.
So before we get going, though, you've already been prepped with our random questions. So I'm going to shuffle this up for you from Randall here. He's speechless right now.
He's overwhelmed by all the questions.
It's a lot. He's seen what some of these are. And he's worried for you.
This is a very intense. Oh, okay. What is a food that you enjoy but others tend to dislike?
Ooh, a good little twist there.
Well, this is an interesting conundrum. I love, like all food.
Yes.
So I also recently had to be on a really strict diet, probably from eating too much food that I loved, and it was very hard to be on this detox. So I had a lot of zucchini, which my grandmother says is a useless vegetable, and she hates it.
I heard that,
but I do love zucchini.
It's everywhere now.
And I don't mind gluten-free stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bakery, another voice actor, her daughter makes cupcakes.
Oh, yeah.
That my husband is a very strict judge, and he even said he can't tell they're not gluten-free. So
that's
I guess
awesome.
most people say gluten-free is gross. Most people say zucchini is gross.
Well, you're
disagree.
there for it.
I'm all about it.
I'm there for that.
But also, I will eat a whole plate of whipped cream if necessary.
It's got to add that in there.
Somebody's got to have
I'm not going to judge you for that. So the gluten thing, I won't judge because I love that. Because like 5-6 years ago, gluten stuff just tasted bad.
It tastes like cardboard.
But cardboard. But now we've come a long way.
Yeah.
That you're right.
And there's creative ways to do
I'm hoping
stuff.
people will turn around and then they join your camp of gluten-free is fine.
Yeah,
now.
gluten-free is
So,
great. And if some people, that's the only way they can enjoy bread or pizza. I also love cauliflower pizza crust.
Oh my God,
Look,
that's so good.
Deprivation is rough. At least find the solutions and make it work so that you can enjoy it, because food is delicious.
Enjoy life and food, exactly.
Yeah.
I am very much a hedonistic foodie, as I like to say. It's just like, love it all, eat it, until a doctor says you shouldn't, then I'm going to love it.
What's the best thing to eat here in Atlanta?
There is a lot to eat in Atlanta. I always recommend ramen. I'm a huge ramen nerd. Pho places, things like that. So if you want the finest Korean cuisines, Atlanta is surprisingly your town. We have the largest community outside of South Korea is in my neighborhood.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Bubble tea as far as the eye can see.
Oh yeah, I need to do that.
And that's where we're at then.
I need to do that.
So
for
we'll
sure.
talk about that after that.
Yes,
so all right. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much.
you.
This has been great.
Thank you.
And I know that you're gonna have a huge busy weekend with all of your crew. And get out there, explore.
I'm excited.
Go see the art show. You guys at home at DragonCon. Come find her, find the whole crew at the panels.
Yeah, come say
It's in the app,
hi.
easy to find, and then I think give a table downstairs as well,
I
autographs.
do, yeah.
Cool, then she's gonna be easy to find. Come find her.
Also,
please.
everybody told me to find dragons, so bring me a dragon.
Bring you a dragon. Easy enough. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
and thank you, DragonCon.
Thanks